Well, for more on the outcome of the EU leaders meeting, I spoke with Quentin Peel. He's an associate fellow of the Europe program at Chatham House, a think tank in London. I began by asking him about reports of a snub after a meeting between German Chancellor Angela Merkel and UK Prime Minister Theresa May was cancelled.
Well, Downing Street, Theresa May's office, has denied flatly that there was any snub and insisted that the ladies managed to say all they needed to say to each other on their walk through the town. So it isn't entirely obvious. I'm not sure that the relationship is very good. I wouldn't describe it as warm. I think I would describe it as correct. But I don't think there was a deliberate snub intended. Rather, maybe that Angela Merkel was saying, well, we don't have a huge amount to say to each other that we can't say in the formal setting of the summit.
Well, Theresa May was certainly a big focus of this summit, just having returned from Washington, D.C., and her meeting with President Trump. Will she be the bridge for the entire EU for the Trump administration, or is it even necessary? Now, he has certainly been critical of the EU, calling NATO obsolete, critical of the refugee policy, and is supporting Britain's exit.
Yes, I do not think she can be a very successful bridge to Donald Trump because she is already something of an outsider within the European Union. Because she's announced that she's going to take Britain out. And so I think there was quite a lot of fairly cynical comment today about, Europe does not get itself represented by one country, even if that is the United Kingdom. Europe speaks as a combined bloc. President Hollande of France certainly said that. And I think the best comment came from President Grybauskaitė of Lithuania, who said, I don't think we need a bridge to Washington. We appear to communicate by Twitter.
I saw that as well. Behind the scenes, what's the scuttlebutt? What are they talking about on the heels of Brexit? And what are they thinking might happen for them?
Well, I think on the one hand, you've got Theresa May making a big push to say, look, we don't want to make matters worse in Europe. We want to have a nice, peaceful, well-mannered exit, and then we want Europe to be stronger than ever. And the rest of the European Union saying, look, the most important thing from our point of view is that we stick together and that the British exit does not, if you like, start some sort of fragmentation, as Donald Trump indeed appears to expect and even wish for. So I think that they're still rather a long way apart.
Quentin, how big of a factor do you think the negotiations for Britain's exit will be, and what other countries do in the future?
It's actually going to take a very long time, and I think it's going to be very difficult. They've got to decide on the money. That's, the European Union says Britain is likely to have a bill of anywhere between 40 and 60 billion euros, that's rather more in dollar terms, to pay in order to leave. That's going to infuriate an awful lot of people in Britain. So I think the whole thing is going to look very difficult and very messy, which won't make it look very attractive to any other member state of the European Union who might decide they wanted to leave. I think it will discourage them.
The main reason for the summit was obviously the migrant crisis. What was accomplished on this end?
I don't think a whole lot. I mean, the problem that is facing them is that the migrant crisis has switched from the east, where essentially, thanks to Turkey holding back the refugee flow, it's quietened down a lot there. But now in the south, across the Mediterranean, particularly from Libya towards Italy, it's really got worse. And that is a flow of essentially economic migrants from countries like Nigeria. And I think there has been at least agreement. We've got to police this more toughly. We've got to clamp down on people trafficking. And they've got to do more to help countries like Libya hold these refugees back. But Libya is a complete mess at the moment. It really doesn't have a proper government. And I think it's going to be incredibly difficult to make matters better.